Thank you, Hugh, and a very good evening to you for one of the most hotly anticipated matches of the Championship season. Leeds and Sheffield United both amongst the favourites for promotion. Two clubs who've lost only once in 18 league games between them so far, despite a summer of sales. Leeds still yet to really convince, having failed to win more than half of their games, although there's so much promise there. They're more than hanging in there. Decent win tonight takes them top. That's a position the Blades would already hold had it not been for their 2-point deduction. Extend their unbeaten record here, and they will be at the summit by 10 o'clock tonight. Well, this is how the two sides line up. Meslier in goal. For Leeds, Bogle, Roden, Strauch and Junior Firpo, Tanaka and Rothwell, Nyonto, Aronson and Ramazani, and Joel Peru up front. On the bench for Leeds, James, Bamford, Solomon, Joseph, Byram, Schmidt, Cabello, Crew and Darlow. Sheffield United, Cooper in goal. Back five of Shackleton, Akhanodzic, Suter, Norrington Davis and Burrows. In midfield, Arblaster and Vinny Sosa, O'Hare and Harmer in support of Keeper Moore up front. And since he returned to the club, Chris Wilder's invariably played a back four. He's played a back four in every game so far this season, Dean. But a switch to a back five tonight, a very interesting tactic for this specific game.
And it clearly feels like nullifying Leeds has to be the way, trying to silence this crowd, trying to make it nervy for the players because of the expectation that they feel at this football club. Leeds have been excellent. They've got some magnificent players going forwards, and I think Chris Wilder feels as if the best way for them to get a result is to pack out the centre of the pitch and then look to try and counter-attack.
Well, it is a wonderful atmosphere here, one full of anticipation, but clearly for the away supporters it is very much tinged with poignancy as well. And representatives of both clubs make their way out of the tunnel now. Ethan Ampadu for Leeds, injured at the moment, but with a black armband around his jacket, and Jack Robinson laying down a wreath on behalf of Sheffield United as well. They've done that in front of the Sheffield United supporters, and both men have then stood and applauded. There's then an embrace between Ethan Ampadu and Jack Robinson as well. Jack, understandably, found that pretty hard process to undertake. This is certainly a night that once again offers a stark reminder of perspective. And before the game starts, we will pay tribute to George Baldock, a popular and integral member of the most successful Sheffield United side in 50 years. A man who won 2 promotions during his time with the Blades, but his popularity amongst his teammates transcended his on-field achievements. You only have to look at the tributes that have been paid to him, read between the lines of just what a popular man he was, the gesture that his new club Panathinaikos made to pay up the entirety of his 3-year contract for his family. And you can only begin to imagine really how difficult this first game will be for those Sheffield United players who will now just make their way to the edge of their own penalty area. I think that they will go into a huddle in a moment after they have applauded the travelling supporters. Ollie Arblaster, the Blades captain, is in the centre circle along with Pascal Strauch, his opposite number, and tonight's referee Lewis Smith. Sheffield United in their red and white striped shirts, black shorts, will kick from right to left. Leeds in all white, defending the Revy stand away to our left. The Yorkshire derby, but West meets South with far more than mere parochial pride at stake. As the promotion battle takes shape, this could be a game where the relevance in May extends far beyond October's local bragging rights. An early test there for Ilhan Meslier, the ball played back to him, and he was very grateful to hurriedly be able to shift it from one foot to the other and get it away from the on-rushing keeper Moore.
And of course, because he made that horrible mistake, everyone's nervous for him. It's just the way it is when you're a goalkeeper, is the mistake tends to be crucial. And it'll be a tough night for him. He'll be on edge, I'm sure, and he'll want to get through it unscathed.
Leeds working the ball through the midfield, Roden to Rothwell, and now out of the dark head, Dutchman Pascal Straub. Long ball launched forward from him down the left-hand side for Laji Ramazani, trying to find a way through inside the penalty area. Sliding challenge puts it out from Vinny Sosa. That'll be a throw which will be taken on the Leeds United left. Decent start in terms of possession here for Daniel Farke's men, who've drawn each of the last two, just one defeat in their last 8 games. Sheffield United 6 clean sheets in a row, and they won 5 of those. Certainly the form team in the championship at the moment. Suter puts the ball out of play. He's another that was away on international duty in the week. He played in that same Japan-Australia game on Japanese soil against Ao Tanaka, and he's against the Japanese international against tonight. That game on Tuesday, and 72 hours later, here they are back in direct confrontation again in a Yorkshire derby on almost the other side of the world. Lawrence Davis to take a throw for Sheffield United in front of the travelling Blade supporters. Over the edge of his own penalty area. Lawrence Davis taking 3 or 4 steps forward, launching it up the line. Keeper Moore trying to flick it on. Bogle against his old club tonight wins the aerial challenge. Lawrence Davis is making his first start of the season, gets it back for Suter. He'll find his goalkeeper, and Cooper can clear towards halfway. 2.5 minutes gone here at 0-0.
Yeah, and we heard the managers talk about the travels that their players have had to make for this Friday night game, of course. I can confirm first class is extremely comfortable, though.
Well, I'm glad you can, because I can't. I'm in no position to confirm that. Didn't even realise that there was a left on a plane, etc., etc. I'm on first class on that coach to Lithuania, I promise you that. The ball is out of play. Leeds have got a free kick through a foul on Willie Nyonto, who's back on his feet, but he's holding his right shoulder. A free kick taken by Tanaka, back to the edge of his own penalty area. Sheffield United, the only unbeaten team in the EFL. Only Manchester City and Arsenal share an unbeaten record in English senior football at the moment. They will be a feather in their cap if they were to be able to extend that to 10 today, and similarly one in Leeds' cap as well if they were to be able to beat the first side to beat them. It's the Blades that have possession. Arblaster winning it from Peru in the midfield. Norrington Davis playing it forward. Arblaster getting it back and calmly going to his left-hand side here for Harrison Burrows. Former Peterborough man controlling it from Nyonto. Getting the ball back to the edge of his own penalty area. Norrington Davis controlling it. He'll play back for Cooper, the summer arrival from Plymouth. Drives it forward through the midfield. Good header forward from Tanaka. The offside flag would have come up against Peru had he made any attempt to go for the ball. He had to leave it. And it rolls through for Michael Cooper again. 4 minutes gone here on TalkSport 2. Aaron, did I going to say you and I in the company of the former England striker Dean Ashton tonight?
And obviously they've set up with that back three, Sheffield United and 2 wing backs with 2 midfielders in front. And ultimately, look, Leeds are top for average possession this season. That's a great flick.
On towards O'Hare inside the penalty area, but it was well defended. Combination of Roden and Junior Firpo just blocking off the run, and Merier could come out and gallop.
Thought I was taken back 20 years then. Big long ball forward from the goalkeeper, big centre forward, Niall Quinn-esque. Moore with a lovely flick on. O'Hare, Phillips tight in behind. Nearly worked.
Now Roden plays a long ball forward at the other end, too long for Jaden Bogle, and it runs through towards Cooper. Now Kiefer Moore, one of those strikers that can't be judged merely on his own personal productivity alone. He's only got the 1 goal in 9 games so far this season, which came against Queen's Park Rangers, but it's his ability to bring in, particularly in this formation, O'Hare and Harmer, either side of him, that will be absolutely critical. He slightly mistimed that one, but O'Hare's still got there. He's played it back towards Vinny Sosa, who wins a 50-50, looks second favourite for it, did really well. Then holds it up and plays it out towards the right-hand side. United have it, Sheffield United, I beg your pardon, with Harmer. Played back by O'Hare. Now towards the bleached head of Vinny Sosa again. And the Blades slowly making progress in towards the edge of the Leeds United box. Arblaster, who's making the 50th senior appearance of his career today, and still less than half of those are for Sheffield United, which shows how highly regarded he is, that he's already got the captain's armband with so few miles on the clock. He's played back here. Cooper goes long again, but over Moore this time, and straight through for Illan Meslier. 0-0 with 6 gone.
Well, if they can hit Kiefer Moore, and he can bring it down, or he can do enough for the ball to run loose, then you've got the technical players, then you've got O'Hare, then you've got Helmer, who have got the ability, once they get on the ball, not to panic, to take their time and combine.
Arblaster's got it again. First touch just a little bit too heavy, and then become a 50-50 in the midfield, which Arblaster won and got caught. Joe Rothwell's given a free kick away, which the Blades will take about 15 yards inside the Sheffield United halves. One other game taking place in the league tonight, in League 2, and Chesterfield have an early lead. Dylan McCanday from a Paddy Madden assist. Chesterfield leading at Newport by a goal, and if they win there, they'll be back up into the top 7. In comes this free kick, headed away easily. And swept back then by Burrows to Arblaster. Arblaster tried to lay it off for Shackleton, actually missed the former Leeds man, and it goes all the way through for the Sheffield United goalkeeper. Back out towards Shackleton, another long ball forward. Roden having to cover the run of Kiefer Moore in behind him. And Leeds are able to play their way out from the back pretty easily. It's Joe Rothwell now, turning it away from Moore. Down towards the edge of his own box for Roden, who just brings it out and leaves it, literally leaves it for Joe Rothwell to take on. Tanaka, and plays it back again. Leeds with easy possession inside their own half. 4 for Willie Nyonto. Good press from Sheffield United's Norrington Davis, but Leeds will just switch the line of attack out to the left.
Yeah, I've been impressed actually, as they try and go along to Pirot. Suter will head that away, but I've been impressed with Rothwell and Tanaka, coming in for Gruev and Ampadu. Slotted in well. They're technically gifted. Tanaka gives a bit of physicality in there also. Not really seen a dip in performance really with those two coming in.
Now he's making his full home debut tonight, out Tanaka, the former Fortuna Düsseldorf midfielder. And he's got a little bit of work to do now as Harmer comes in off the Sheffield United right. It's play forward, no flag correctly, as O'Hare was being played onside by Bogle. An opportunity for Harmer to pull it back. Arblaster on the edge of the area, right-footed shot on the turn is easily blocked by Rothwell. Played for then by Shackleton, chipped in towards Kiefer Moore, but Meslier could climb high, got his hands to it, and comfortably took it off the head of the Welsh international.
Yeah, Harmer and O'Hare combining brilliantly down the right-hand side. Eventually, Arblaster with a blocked shot, but then when it came back out to Harmer, he's looking just to stab it with the outside of his right foot, stab it towards the back post for Kiefer Moore to go and attack, too close to the goalkeeper. Already showing that they're not just going to sit really, really deep, Sheffield United. They are going to be organised, but they want to keep a threat at the top end of the pitch.
Yeah, no side in the top 8 has scored fewer goals than Sheffield United, but they can maintain these ratios of scoring 4 times as many as they've conceded for the rest of the season, and they'll be doing all right. Ball is over on the far touchline, the Leeds United left. That's because they haven't conceded in any of the last 6 league games. It's a run that now stretches in league football to 618 minutes, more than 10 and a quarter hours since they last conceded, which was a Josh Sargent goal for Norwich back in the 3rd week of August. The ball is out of play for a throw that will be taken on the Sheffield United right, and you're listening to this Yorkshire derby here with 10 minutes gone. Still Leeds United 0, Sheffield United 0, and neither side has had a chance worthy of the name so far. Incidentally, TalkSport supports the EFL's Together Against Racism campaign, encouraging players, managers and fans, both in the stands and at home, to use their voice to drive change. For more, head to the EFL.com. Here's Roden, playing the ball forward from the back for Leeds. Now towards Joe Rothwell. The Leeds have had the majority of possession so far, but a lot of it has been in the kind of area where they are now, with nearly every Sheffield United player back goal side of them. Aronson's got the time just to flick the ball forward. Tanaka's done well. Out he goes from Ramazani. Junior Firpo with a low cross. And Shackleton can't prevent the corner on a ground he knows so well. And it goes out for the first flag kick of the night, which Leeds United will take on their left.
But that's what they're very good at, Leeds. Rodon and Strouk, Tanaka and Rothwell, they'll all slowly combine, just waiting for you to switch off, and then that ball wants to be pierced through the midfield in towards Gnonto, Aronson, Ramazani, for them to turn and be at your back four, back three. They do it very, very well.
Well, Leeds have got 6 inside the penalty area to attack this corner in towards the near post. Strout trying to get there. It was a brave defensive header that got it away from Ahmedhodzic. And now Sheffield United on the counter-attack will be able to bring it into Leeds territory. O'Hare didn't get too far. He was cleanly challenged. That wasn't his view of it. The play's allowed to continue with Joe Rothwell on the ball for Leeds United. Inside the centre circle, now going out to Laji Ramazani. Junior Firpo then plays it back. Another opportunity for Leeds to bring it forward. Tanaka goes out to the right this time for Italian international Willie Gnonto. Gnonto coming in off the right flank. Bogle in support for him. Gets down towards the byline and then checks. Turns back. Good reverse ball in towards Bogle. Cleared though by Norrington Davis towards halfway. And Moore times his jump better than Roden and will be able to nod the ball into space and attack that space himself. Roden back goal side very quickly. But Moore can hold it up. It's found our blaster. Back it goes for Kiefer Moore again. On the left-hand touchline for a moment. The tall, dark-haired Welshman. Back from him to Vinny Sosa. Now through the midfield to Jamie Shackleton. Ahmedhodzic can bring it forward. Harmer, Shackleton to his right, supplying the width. Harmer though goes alone, left-footed shot from the edge of the area, deflects up and loops into the hands of Ilhan Melier.
Yeah, he did the first part brilliantly, didn't he? With the fake of the right-footed shot to then drag it onto his left foot. And it was a brilliant block in the end from Strouk, just to almost kneel on his left knee and allow that foot to dangle, just to let the ball ricochet off it and into the hands of Melier.
Well, Sheffield United, if it weren't for their 2-point deduction, would already be top of the championship. But they'll be 3 points clear at the end of the night, notwithstanding the -2, if they can win here. It's a fixture in which they haven't got a great record, although they did win the last one here. It's the first meeting at this level in 6 seasons. And a Chris Basham goal gave Sheffield United a 1-0 victory. It's been pretty even between the two over the last 5 years or so. And Sheffield United beaten here last time out in the Premier League game back in 2021. And Melier and Bogle, the only survivors from that game, although obviously Bogle has changed sides in between times. Just shows how quickly the revolving door has spun at both clubs. So Sheffield United throw over on the far touchline. Midway inside their own half. Back for Ahmedhodzic. Right-footed, driven ball. Tanaka's done well, just to climb high. His positioning was good. Not nearly as tall as Kiefer Moore, but he judged it well. Was able to head the ball away from the big number 9 for Sheffield United. Now it comes down towards Gnonto. Here's Jayden Bogle on the right flank for Leeds United. Well, a boo from Sheffield United supporters. He's laid it back for Tanaka. Ball inside the penalty area. Firpo attacking that at the far post. It's headed away. Rothwell recycles it for Leeds. Back for Strout. Strout 15 yards outside the penalty area. Tanaka to Firpo. Now towards Rothwell again. Good football here from Leeds United. All at relatively close quarters. And Brendan Aronson, the American international, joins in, but still Leeds unable to make any real headway past this very well regimented Blades back line.
Yeah, it's in excellent shape, isn't it? Every player just shuffling across, and they're looking to get it into Gnonto, Aronson, but they're having to drift away from their positions.
Now he's got it, Gnonto. It's not a bad ball in, just not quite strong enough to be able to get in towards Peru. He'll get it now inside the 6-yard box as it's hooked back in by Bogle. And Sheffield United's Harry Suter can smuggle it clear behind him and out for another Leeds corner.
Yeah, we're just coming up to 15 minutes, and that is the first touch that Peru's had. And even that was just a glancing blow as the ball in from Bogle took a couple of deflections off his shin and then off Suter's shin, but they haven't been able to get it into the centre forward as yet because of that defensive block that Sheffield United have got on.
4 goals in his last 6 games, Joel Peru, but 3 of those have come off the bench. Starting tonight, in comes the corner from Rothwell. It's deep. It's an awkward one to try and clear. Fell Strout's way, but the whistle had gone by the time he blazed it over the bar. There's a little bit of holding going on. And it's a free kick to Sheffield United inside their own penalty area. 16 gone, Leeds 0, Sheffield United 0. The award-winning game day exclusive returns tomorrow on Talk Sport. Spurs have had a pretty frustrating fortnight, stewing over blowing that 2-0 lead at Brighton. They face a West Ham side who'll go above them with victory tomorrow. Build-up starting at 11 ahead of a 12:30 kick-off. And then we've got more exclusive Premier League action here on TalkSport 2 tomorrow afternoon as Fulham host Villa at 3. Now the Blades getting forward here towards Burrows. The left-hand side of the Leeds penalty area. And Harmer trying to spin the ball back into Burrows' path on the return. But Bogle stopped him making the run. And he goes straight out of play for a goal kick.
Well, he showed the run, Burrows. He played it inside towards Harmer and then went as if he was going to make the run and stopped, or was stopped. And then Harmer obviously played the 1-2, nobody there, but Kiefer Moore has made a brilliant start, held it up brilliantly against Rodon a couple of minutes ago, and then that was a great flick in behind for Burrows to make the run. And he needs to be, because he's up there against the two centre-backs. It's a tough task.
And we welcome listeners to Ellen Road from Talk Sport. It's still Leeds United 0, Sheffield United 0 with 17 minutes gone. And whilst it's been intriguing, it hasn't been a game blessed so far with a whole glut of goal-scoring opportunities. Leeds unchanged, Sheffield United making 4 changes to the side that beat Luton last time out. And Sheffield United's game plan, changing to a 5-4-1, has been pretty effective so far, denying Leeds too much space going forward. And Kiefer Moore has led the line very effectively, Dean Ashton.
He has, yeah. They're utilising his attributes, getting up to him, hitting his chest, looking for the knockdowns, and then O'Hare, Harmer, Arblaster, all looking to pick up and support. And then if not, they allow Leeds to have the ball with slow possession, and they get into a good shape to try and frustrate.
And Leeds United have had the majority of possession so far. They've had the only 2 corners of the game, but it's been the Blades that have had the 2 attempts that we've seen tonight, both of them blocked so far. It's just taking a little bit of time to warm up. Quite a sterile tactical battle in these early stages, albeit that it is eminently watchable. It's Ramazani playing the ball for, finds Bogle, right hand side of the penalty area, across it was driven in, straight into Norrington Davis. Comes back out again on the right hand side of the Leeds midfield to Tanaka. As Sheffield United once more able to stand firm, although they have conceded a free kick. It was the retreating Moore that caught his man. Commentary continues on TalkSport 2 here at Allen Road. It is 0-0 between Leeds and Sheffield United. Sosa, I think, actually got the touch that put Aronson on the deck, with Kiefer Moore coming in the other side. And then there's a free kick which will be taken by Leeds on the right-hand side, probably about 15 yards outside the penalty area. Harmer stands as a one-man wall. Michael Cooper asking for the defensive line to stay very high on the edge of the penalty area. It's a big gap for him to come out and patrol if necessary. What sort of delivery can Rothwell fire in here? 5 in a line on the edge of the box. It's a low one, looking for a little near-post flick. Peru provided that, but it fell behind Aronson, who I think was the target of it. Sheffield United clear, an awkward one out towards Bogle, and under pressure, he's just been having to head it out for a throw that Sheffield United will take midway inside the Leeds half.
Oh, it's just so frustrating, isn't it, when you get all set up, you've probably done, you've had to sit bored for half an hour on the training pitch doing set plays, and then the taker can't get it off the floor.
Sounds like a little bit of bitterness through experience there. Do you want to name names? Which particular takers let you down in your career?
We haven't got time.
Yeah, they talk well of you as well. There's no point in getting the delivery right for that Ashton. It tends to be the stories I've heard. Here's Ahmedodzic, who will get it forward for Sheffield United on the right-hand side. Now Blaster turning neatly. Getting it away. Shackleton has done really well. Good ball retention from him as well. Ahmedodzic coming forward. Bosnian international. Back for Jamie Shackleton, who played nearly 100 games here as a Leeds United player. Now Suter. Edward Shackleton to Harmer. Shackleton's got it again. It's only his second start for Sheffield United today after that summer move, having been released by Leeds at the end of his contract. It's Started against Swansea, but this is the only other start that he's made so far. Our Blaster's made a really good run forward here, right through the middle, and Akmanodzic's route one ball over the top, very nearly found him. Bogle saw the run of our Blaster in time, and just made it difficult for him to cover the ground quickly enough, and the ball went through for Meslier. Chris Wilder loved it though, the mix-up, straight away applauding, hands above his head to Akmanodzic for the quality of the ball forward.
Yeah, I think if the ball is perfect, I don't think Bogle gets there before our Blaster could control and have an attempt. It was a brilliant run from the young man from midfield, and that's so important. When you've got a Kiefer Moore up there, it's so important that the midfielders take it almost in turns to make that driving run down the sides of the centre-backs from midfield to try and draw away the defenders and unsettle the back line.
Here's it, Meslier. Ball fought from him to Roden, to Rothwell, and then Roden will be able to bring it forward. Just got caught actually once the ball had gone by Harmer. Referee allows play to continue because Leeds have still got it, and Aronson will play it out to the Leeds United left, where Junior Firpo plays it in. Akmanodzic is back defending along with Harry Sutton, and Aronson chases after what looked like a lost cause, very nearly got there. Bogle then wins it back, finds Rothwell. Back down towards Bogle, he's given a right old-fashioned shove in the back. And Burrows concedes the free kick, which will be taken by Leeds, just in off the right-hand touchline. And Burrows has taken it quickly. Finding Aronson, getting it back, going back to Roden, then getting it back again. Now Joe Rothwell, the player on loan from Bournemouth, turns a second time. Another quick exchange of passes with Aronson for working it out to the Leeds United left. Here's William Yonto, chance to run at Akmanodzic, and it was clear. Firpo takes over. Yonto trying to get towards the back line, checks back inside. Ramazani was waiting on the edge of the penalty area, but the pullback didn't get there. The Blades clear it. Rothwell wins it back. Moore thought he was fouled as he fought for a 50-50. Didn't get it, didn't get the decision either. And then Shackleton and Akmanodzic between them come out to clear, and the Bosnian's touch goes into the Jack Charlton stand and out for a throw which will be taken by Leeds United over on the far side. 23 gone, so midway through the first half here on TalkSport 2, and it remains 0-0, and it remains without either goalkeeper having had a save to make so far.
No, it's tight, isn't it? Very, very tight. As Meslier, every time he gets it, I'm sure he'll be hearing the ohs. And Willie Nonto, I've got to say, he's like the Joker card for Leeds. He's being allowed by Daniel Farke this season to really drift where he wants, and the way he can twist and turn and get away from players is outstanding.
Here's Firpo inside the penalty area, past Shackleton, getting it in. Aronson trying to react. Will they be able to get a shot in on the turn? Peru coming back outside the penalty area and just trying to set it up for Tanaka, and Vinny Sosa is in there to slide it clear and put it out for a throw.
Yeah, starved of the ball, Peru. And I think there he wanted probably to try and manipulate the ball, shift it and shoot himself. Took too long, the space wasn't there. Probably should have laid it off earlier. Took too long and then was tackled.
Rothwell coming forward now. A real dynamic driving run. Trying to get it into Ramazani, who got past Cooper and had a left-footed shot that might just have come back off the outside of the post from a very tight angle and goes out for a goal kick. Last 2 or 3 minutes, much better for Leeds United.
Yeah, and as they just bursting through midfield, first it was Nonto, this time it was Rothwell. As they burst through, then they've got the runners. Ramazani down the side of Akmanodzic. When you're right, he just delays his attempt as Cooper comes sliding out. Then he taps it past him almost along the line, hitting the outside of the post.
He's got a couple of goals already for Leeds United. Laji Ramazani, the Belgian netting at Cardiff and Norwich. And Sheffield United make their way forward here, but the flag is up against Kiefer Moore, who's got to be careful he doesn't get a yellow card for kicking the ball away. He just came up towards Meslier. He stopped knowing that the whistle had gone and the flag was up, and there was just a clever little flick with his back foot past Meslier, who couldn't help himself and slid in on his own goal line to stop the loose ball going in, even though everyone knew it wouldn't have counted. Old habits die hard. Didn't want to get into, I suppose, for any goalkeeper. Leeds United fans on their feet around us. 0-0 to score. 25 minutes gone here on TalkSport 2. Ball with Ramazani in the midfield. player who really made his name in Spanish football, playing for Almeria. £10 million acquisition for Leeds over the summer. 10 of the £31 million that they spent. Ball work forward here. Flag is stayed down. Aronson, Ramazani, good save. Aronson playing it forward. He was the man that everyone thought might be offside. The play was allowed to continue. And Ramazani trying his luck from the edge of the penalty area. Crisp left-footed drive, which is well saved by the diving Cooper. Wide for a corner.
Outstanding football, matched by the save from Cooper down to his left-hand side. Ball into Pirro, flick round the corner. Harrison probably offside. Lays it back. Ramazani with a beautiful little nutmeg, and then the strike is arrowing into that far corner. Needed a brilliant save.
In comes the corner from Joe Rothwell, an away swinger past the penalty spot. And it bounced once inside the penalty area and then went back out. Sheffield United might be able to launch a counter. Harmer couldn't bring it cleanly out. And Leeds have it back again. Well, a pretty even contest through the opening 20 minutes, for all the fact that Leeds had the majority of possession. Now it is the hosts who are on top. Rothwell chipping it forward towards the edge of the area. Good covering header from Akmanogic. Back from Aronson. Out of the Leeds United left for Junior Firpo, another who's been on international duty this week, and indeed goal scoring international duty. 3 goals in his 2 internationals for the Dominican Republic this week, Junior Firpo, and being given plenty of licence as always to push forward down that Leeds United left here. And he's in space, but Rothwell has turned it into a more central area instead. For Nyonto, who's given a shove by O'Hare, and it's a free kick to Leeds just inside Blake's territory.
Yeah, they've got a slight problem on that left-hand side. Sheffield United with Firpo getting forwards. They're just doubling up Leeds United with the space over there with only one wing back.
Now Bogle playing the ball towards the edge of the penalty area. Aronson trying to get it back into his path, overhit it. And it's retrieved by a cameraman behind the goal, away to our right. A loose ball thrown Michael Cooper's way, and another one was thrown onto the field as well, which Harry Souttar's in no hurry to dispense with. With 28 minutes in, which of the two managers is the happier with the way that the opening period of this game has gone, Dean Ashley?
I would say, other than the last 2 minutes, it would have been Chris Wilder. But Leeds have just had a couple of openings where they're starting to find a few gaps, but they happen to be so intricate, Leeds, to create their chances because of the block. Wilder will be pleased.
Bogle clears straight into Harrison Burrows, knocked him off his feet, and he goes out of play for a throw that will be taken on the Leeds United right. And again, there are 2 balls on the pitch just for a moment. Nyonto knocks the spare one away surreptitiously, and the ball, the match ball, and he's back with Melier. Melier getting a return ball from Tanaka inside his 6-yard box, wanted a touch, drove it forward, but only just had the time to get there because that first touch was a loose one. It rolled out away from his left foot more quickly than he wanted. Leeds lose possession for the long ball for. They quickly won it back with Peru. Daniel Farke's hands almost involuntarily went to his face for a moment there. He was frustrated with the way the Leeds have squandered possession, but now they're working more effectively. Ramazani to Junior Firpo over on the far touchline, the Leeds left. Back to Joe Rothwell in the midfield. Rothwell's ball forward, but Sosa has gobbled that up before Ramazani could get there. O'Hare trying to bring it away for Sheffield United, but at times that he must feel as though he's ploughing a lone furrow up there. It's a long way away from Kiefer Moore, and the two can't really get in support for each other. Now whenever either of them gets it, they've just got white shirts converging on them quickly, and Leeds, they're able to get possession back very easily.
Well, because Rothwell and Tanaka are there with the 2 centre-backs trying to play their way out, they're there to defend as well if they do lose the ball.
Sosa slides in, and there's a big roar of approval to the Sheffield United supporters, only 10-12 feet away from him. Throw though to Leeds. Taken to Bogle. Bogle's done well. Now to Aronson. Lawrence Davis is trying to take him down towards the corner flag, and Lawrence Davis will flip the ball forward, left-footed up the touchline, but it's gone straight out of play for another Leeds throw. Welcome back to listeners on Talk Sport. Half an hour played, 0-0 between Leeds and Sheffield United. Ramazani hitting the post for Leeds from an unfeasibly tight angle. Wasn't really an opportunity worthy of the name, but that's as close as either side have come to breaking the deadlock. Lashie Ramazani's got it now and drives the low ball through the 6-yard box. Michael Cooper is able to pounce on that and make a comfortable save. Dean Ashton's watching the game with me. Dean, what have you made of it so far?
Well, Leeds are just starting to come into it. Ramazani, Gnonto, they've switched sides. Aronson, all trying to drift, all waiting for that little bit of space. And then the likes of Rodon and Rothwell and Tanaka, they're happy to fire that in towards them. They can take it on the back foot. That's where they're starting to get a little bit of joy, but it's having to be very intricate.
Now Rothwell plays it forward too long for Aronson, who's claiming he was pulled back by Vinny Sosa, and there's just a little reaction between the pair of them as well. Sosa took matters literally into his own hands for a moment as he put his hands round the side of the face of Aronson. Then it looks as though there's a foul on Bogle, and the referee's given a free kick the other way to Sheffield United.
But they're having to try and be physical, Sheffield United, and why wouldn't you when you're in that defensive block? He's just stepped across Bogle. It's just the referee feels that Burrows has got the line, and Bogle's then trying to step across and catches the back of his calf. Burrows makes the most of it, as you would, and the referee sees it as a Sheffield United free kick.
Few chances, but a great watch. It continues on TalkSport 2. Leeds 0, Sheffield United 0. There's Norrington Davis from the free kick. Goes backwards. Now to Harmer. Harmer to Ollie Arblaster. Play forward through the midfield. Tanaka gets it away. Aronson did well to react. And then will continue his run forward as Gnonto tries to play it into his path. He chases on. Shackleton wins that battle. His touch will take the ball out towards the touchline. Gnonto actually keeps it in. Looks as though he's going to shepherd it out of play for a throw. Kept it in with a little darting touch that found Firpo. Now Peru from a deeper position brings it forward. Bogle with a cross. Swept away easily on the edge of the 6-yard box by the retreating Arblaster. Look at the keeper more to hold it up. Roden did well to deal with it. You'll be able to tell from the intensity and the volume of the Leeds United support around us. Their side on the front foot, playing the better football at the moment, but Sheffield United more than standing firm. Now 641 minutes since they last conceded a lead goal.
I think that's one of the big things that Daniel Farke has changed from his time at Norwich, is the press after they lose the ball. I thought they lacked that at Norwich, especially as they stepped up. With this Leeds side, when they lose the ball, there is a genuine intensity to win it back from every single player, and it means that Sheffield United are really struggling now to get any sort of momentum.
Tanaka the high balling. Cooper comes out, controlling his penalty area very effectively, and the Blades goalkeeper catches it cleanly and then slows things right down for eventually bowling it out for Harrison Burrows, the former Peterborough defender, getting it forward from his left wing back position, deflected into the path of Harmer. He finds Moore, popped off into the centre circle for Arblaster. Everybody telling him to turn it to his right hand side, and Akmanogic can bring it forward now towards the edge of the Leeds United penalty area. Ball goes from him out to Shackleton, and then play back through Arblaster, the Blades captain, wearing 4 into the midfield, down to the near touchline for Burrows. Sheffield United in their familiar red and white striped shirts and black shorts. It's great for get a little bit of a feel of the ball at the moment. Possession about 70-30 in Leeds' favour, but in fairness, that's what pretty much everybody expected it would be within that kind of range. 0-0 the score. And a match that promised to be a relatively low-scoring encounter, and 0-0 so far. Sheffield United 6 clean sheets in a row. Leeds have only conceded 4 goals in their last 8 games, so it's one of those nights where the ability to take even a half chance could prove of absolutely paramount importance, because I don't think too many will be created. 10 minutes to go to half time. They're still 0-0. There's Norrington Davis. Good to see him back after the injury problems that he suffered with. An intricate little layoff from Burrows. Harmer forced to retreat back inside his own half. Did well to feed Norrington Davis, then to Sosa, now to Arblaster. Suter to his right for Akmanogic. And Sheffield United can bring it forward. And there's no press coming in on the Bosnian as he's able to make his way forward towards halfway. Well, who had Champions League experience playing for Malmo, indeed, was capped for Sweden at one stage in his career before changing international allegiance to Bosnia. Ball over the top here from Harmer, and just roll away from O'Hare. He was offside anyway, goes through towards Meslier, and we got 9 of the break here, 0-0 on TalkSport 2.
But I was just thinking actually, as Sheffield United had that spell of possession, that they'd stop making those midfield runs, and that can happen when you start to become under pressure, is maybe not wanting to gamble with that run beyond keeper Moore or up alongside him, because if you lose the ball then Leeds can be on top of you, but I think they have to keep doing it.
Well, it looked like a push from Norrington Davis on Ramazani, and indeed there was a telltale glance from him as Ramazani went to ground. He looked immediately, guiltily, at the assistant referee on this near touchline. Paul Hodgkinson kept his flag down and play was allowed to go on. Ramazani is still down. If Sheffield United scored from this canter, which they don't, the ball's gone out for a throw, it would have been highly controversial. And Daniel Farker, who felt that Leeds should have had a free kick for a foul on Bogle a couple of minutes ago, is now raising his right foot and indicating towards anybody who will listen that he felt that was also a foul. And Ramazani, with play having stopped, can now receive the treatment as necessary.
Yeah, Norrington Davis stood on his Achilles. Just put a couple of studs down the side of it, and then a push to go with it as well. It was a foul. The referee probably just felt he maybe didn't see him stand on the back of his Achilles, and he was off the pitch, so he rolled back on the pitch to stop the game.
Well, this brief hiatus will allow the two coaches to get their players around, and nearly everybody for Sheffield United. In fact, 7 of the outfield players for Sheffield United are being spoken to here by Chris Wilder, and his assistant referee Alan Neal is just discussing things with Callum O'Hare. Fewer of the Leeds players came over towards Daniel Farker, but it was quite a lengthy discussion between him and Jayden Bogle. Ramazani's okay, he's back on his feet and he's going to be able to come back on in a moment. There's more live EFL action here on TalkSport 2 tomorrow, incidentally. West Brom still in the top 5 despite taking only 1 point from 3 games. They've got Oxford away tomorrow. Oxford still unbeaten at home after their promotion. That kicks off at 12:30 here on TalkSport 2, and then it'll be immediately followed over on TalkSport by Game Day Live with Adrian Durham. All the goals as they go in from the Premier League and the EFL from 2:30 tomorrow. And that's after our live game over on TalkSport, Spurs West Ham. So Ramazani back on his feet, and Sheffield United back in possession with the ball having gone out of play for a throw to them. Burrows laying it back for Norrington Davis. Suter out to Akmanogic. Daniel Farker stands, hands outstretched, but it is a mandatory 30 seconds before Ramazani can come back on. 30 seconds is now elapsed. Joe Rothwell reading a ball forward, and Aronson will play it back to him. Rothwell through the midfield, straight at Tanaka, who stretches out a left leg and diverts the ball back for Rothwell again. So much of the Leeds United attacking play going through Rothwell as the first point of call in the midfield. Strack now out towards Junior Firpo with a white sweatband around his right wrist. Nyonto trying to take it on, back over on the left for a moment. Hurry ball back from Shackleton to Cooper, who's off his line and gets lucky because his clearance was poor and it came out towards the edge of the penalty area. Right footed shot comes in, deflects I think of Vinny Sosa and wide of the post that Cooper's just run past. It was a poor clearance and Sheffield United have got away with it.
They have, because Aronson I don't think looks up. I don't think he sees that 3/4 of the goal is completely wide open because Cooper's stretched to clear, and then he's out of his goal and he hits it right back to him as he's trying to run back to his goal.
In comes the corner, headed away emphatically by Kiefer Moore. Well, it was a moment that Sheffield United are unaccustomed to with this magnificent defensive record they've got. Haven't made too many huge errors like that. Got away with it. Here's Ramazani Left-footed shot from him, which actually hit his own teammate Rothwell before it got to the penalty area, but it's ricocheted Leeds' way, back out towards Jayden Bogle. Bogle, a little 1-2 with Nyonto, right-footed, flashes across in. Tall Australian Harry Souttar's there to clear. Leeds recycling, having won it back in the midfield with Tanaka, back for Roden to Strauch and out towards the left flank again. Helped round the corner by Rothwell. And then Leeds lose out. Rothwell back in position, trying to win it back from Harmer. Sheffield United have done well to play the ball forward. I think O'Hare is surely offside. He is. Flag didn't come up against him straight away. He was doing his best to plead indifference that he wasn't interfering with play, but he clearly was as Tanaka was racing back. So the flag came up and it's a Leeds United free kick.
Yeah, I think he was trying to say that it needed to go for... He'd made a run for the first opportunity, and then Tanaka had stepped up and he then couldn't really change direction quick enough. And they've just been a little bit sloppy in the last 20 minutes, Sheffield United, when they have had the ball. I mean, it's Leeds' pressure as well, but they've just been a bit sloppy with their possession and just allowed Leeds to build some genuine momentum in their game. I just think they need a little bit more variety as well, Leeds. They've got into good wide positions, Firpo and Bogle, and they've just slashed it across too often.
Here's Callum O'Hare on the right-hand side of the penalty area, but sliding challenge from Roden, stops the cross, finding a teammate. Aronson's going to be able to bring it away. Played inside the centre circle, and Ramazani helping it on. Nyonto peels away towards the Leeds United right, and the ball is played to him now, with Ramazani making a run down the right-hand side of the area for him, threaded into his path, just lofted back towards Nyonto, who looked the second favourite. It's half clears, a muted shout for a penalty from the Leeds United players and support, and Sheffield United are able to get it away, and Kiefer Moore controls it on the left flank, holding it up, and then he's presented it straight to Nyonto. Nyonto inside the penalty area, right-footed efforts that's deflected. The deflection took the pace out of it, and Cooper saves. But play just stopped. Kiefer Moore now raises a right hand, but I think the world stopped for him for a moment because he passed it 15 yards behind him straight to Willie Nyonto, bearing down on the edge of his own penalty area. He couldn't believe potentially how big an error that was, and Sheffield United have got away with two now in the space of 3 minutes. Bogle slides in, wins it back from Burrows, but it's a Sheffield United throw 10 yards from the corner flags. 0-0 with 2 to go to half-time.
Yeah, and he's still talking to himself, Kiefer Moore. He shoved his head in towards his shirt, right talking to himself, because first of all his control was poor, then he tapped it away with the wrong foot, and then he just passed it straight to Nyonto, and he's lucky actually that Vinny Souza got back and just managed to get his leg in the way as Nyonto was trying to strike, and I think Nyonto kicked Vinny Souza's leg, and that took the momentum from the swinging leg to strike it properly.
Sheffield United have a throw with Norrington Davis, and he's gone back for Suter. Akmanodzic able to bring it forward. 90 seconds to go to half-time, maybe a couple of minutes to be added. Akmanodzic has split the gap between Harmer and Shackleton and put the ball straight out of play. Couldn't find either teammate. Split the difference between the pair of them. Leeds with the throw, they've taken it quickly. Roden able to bring the ball forward. This is a Leeds side, remember, without Gruev and Ampadu and Verber as well. Solomon and James back on the bench after their respective hamstring problems today. It'll be interesting to see how long a run Dan James gets. He was out warming up quite early on. Strauch's got it. Strauch to his right-hand side for Joe Roden, who incidentally is on a yellow card, and with the lack of cover Leeds have got at centre-half, Roden is got to be careful, really, that he doesn't pick up a yellow card in the next few weeks if he can avoid it. Ball out for a throw that Sheffield United will take. Just last few seconds of this first half. Fourth official John Busby has the numbers board in his hand. We'll find out in a moment how many extra minutes are going to be added on. Roden beating Moore in the air. It's then cleared away from Tanaka and out for a throw which Leeds will take just inside their own half. 1 extra minute or 2. It is the latter. We're in them now. 0-0. Half-time approaching here on TalkSport 2. It's a result that would take Sheffield United top of the Championship, a point clear of the field if it stays this way, Dean.
And look, this is the way you play against Leeds, especially here. You don't open up. You sit, you try and frustrate, you try and let that expectation filter to the players and get them to come up with the answers.
Peru dropping deep, turning, finding Yonto. Aronson picking up a loose ball around the edge of the penalty area. Such a lively, bustling character, the American international, and he's done well to feed Ramazani. Gets it back, ball inside the box, just too high for Joel Peru, who's waiting for it, and it cleared him, and Michael Cooper is able to make a smart save actually as the ball bounced back down. Had to make sure that he didn't spill that, because it cleared Peru and it died really suddenly on the Plymouth goalkeeper, on the former Plymouth goalkeeper, but he got his hands behind it and is able to clear it right-footed upfield.
And that's the variety I was talking about. You know, you've got 3 central defenders all waiting for that one that's flashed across, and they can deal with it, but mixing it up, whether that's crossing from deep, whether that's chipping one to the back, whether that's cutting it to the penalty spot, it's that variety that I think's needed a little bit more from this Leeds team, because up to the penalty area actually they've done well to get through into those positions.
One last chance for Leeds before half-time. Rothwell getting it wide. Third post ball in. Aronson coming to meet it on the half volley. 8 yards out. Flashes over the bar.
It was a more caressed cross, wasn't it, from Firpo on the left-hand side? Rather than flashing that across, he just caressed it in between penalty spot and 6-yard box. Aronson makes the late run from that number 10 position. It's there to be volleyed, and he just gets it wrong. He kind of, instead of getting to the ball, he kind of sticks out the leg and stretches for the ball off the shin and up and over.
Just about the best chance that we've seen tonight, and it's come with the last kick of the first half. Leeds United 0, Sheffield United 0 at the break. Hugh, thank you. Now, Sheffield United players out for the second half. No sign of Leeds coming out for the second period as yet. I don't think there'll be any changes. Certainly aren't any for Sheffield United, who are lining up with Cooper in goal. Back 5 of Shackleton, Akmanogic, Suter, Lawrington Davis and Burrows. Our blaster, Vinny Sosa and Harmer, with O'Hare off keeper Moore up front. Leeds coming out now for the second period. Melier in goal. Bogle, Roden, Strauch and Firpo. Tanaka and Rothwell. Yonto, Aronson and Ramazani. And Peru is the man that is leading the line. Daniel Barker strides down the touchline to take his place in the Leeds United technical area. It's a relatively brisk night here in West Yorkshire. He's got his coat collar very much up around the chin and the cheeks, keeping himself warm, hands in the pocket, preparing himself for the coldness of this second half. And will his side be able to give him a lift? Referee Lewis Smith just waiting for the signal to get the second half underway. He's had it, and here we go. Sheffield United then, from left to right, red and white striped shirts and black shorts. Defending the ready end of Ellen Road away to our left. And the ball out of play for a throw, which will be taken by the Blades about 15 yards or so inside Leeds United territory. Confirmation no changes being made by either coach at this stage. Sosa, a poor ball actually. Akmanogic had to react pretty quickly to be able to make sure that he got there. But he did, plays it forward. Now the retreating Tanaka is able to mop up for Leeds, goes back inside his own penalty area for Melier. High ball forward from him. Vinny Sosa heading it forward. Returned by Tanaka again, and then brought down by Aronson. A little reverse chop through the midfield looking for Nyonto. And it goes out of play for what has been given as a Leeds throw over on the far side. I don't think anybody was too sure. There will be a throw that will be taken over on the Leeds United right, and we play the first minute of the second half here at Ellen Road. Here's Dean Ashton.
Well, we certainly can't say that there isn't firepower on each bench, especially in an attacking sense. Dan James, Bamford, Solomon, Joseph for Leeds in particular, and Brewster, Saki, Campbell for Sheffield United. So it might take, getting into the latter stages, one of those players who should be thinking about that now and studying the game as they're sat there with their hot water bottles on their laps.
Cooper with a clearance away to our left-hand side. The ball brought down by Shackleton. Hot water bottles, behave yourself. I said it was brisk.
I'm telling you, I saw the staff members filling them up in the media room.
No chance.
Absolutely.
No chance. Here's Ramazani getting it forward. And Suter steps up and gets it away from Joel Peru. Well, Sheffield United can bring it forward again. The run without conceding a goal in league football, almost at 11 hours for the Blades now since that Josh Sargent goal back on August the 24th. It's already Sheffield United's best unbeaten start to a league season since they went 16 unbeaten at the start of the 2012-13 campaign. That was in the third tier as Rothwell plays it forward here for Leeds, but easily knocked away by Norrington Davis. It'll be interesting to see whether he gets 90 minutes, bearing in mind how few starts he has had in the recent past. Just his third league start in the last 2+ seasons for the Welsh international, and similarly those who are on international duty in the different continents in the course of the week might not be expected to participate for the full 90, so it could be interesting to see who comes off the bench and when. It's a good ball over the top from Rothwell, but Bogle chasing after it down the right, can't quite bring it under control, and it goes out for a throw that will be taken by Sheffield United.
I also just wonder, Pirro's not been able to get into the game at all, and what he doesn't offer you, which Joseph would, is that threat in behind. Pirro's not going to make runs in behind. That's not him. He's a centre forward that can play as a 10 as well, so wants it to feet, wants to combine, and maybe just Joseph being able to run in behind and stretch and open up a bit more space for Aronson, Nonto and Ramazani.
Well, were you surprised that Joseph didn't get the start?
I was, because of what he brings, I think, and the way he'll manoeuvre the centre-backs, whereas Perrault, as the ball goes into him and he loses it, he wants it to feet all the time, which defenders love.
So Peru lost it, Harmer won it back, and then he lost it, and it ends up becoming a fight ball on the near touchline, which takes the touch off Shackleton. And it's a throw which will be taken by Leeds, well inside their own half. Tanaka back for Pascal Strout. Strout has scored against Portsmouth on the opening weekend. He's missed the penalty since then in Leeds' win at Cardiff. The home form just dropped off at the back end of last season. They had that remarkable run. At one stage they won 16 out of 17 here at Ellen Road over a 7-month period, but then a couple of costly defeats at the back end of the last campaign, and one here so far to Burnley. A high ball is swung inside the penalty area and it falls Aronson's way. He was initially nodded down to him by Nyonto. And Aronson hasn't had his shooting boots on tonight, and in leaning back he skied that one way over the bar and out of play for a goal kick. It wasn't as good as the chance that he had slightly close to the goal right at the end of the first half, but a better finishing tonight, and Leeds might be out of sight.
Yeah, it fell nicely for him, considering the initial cross from Firpo was flicked on by Suter. It hit Nyonto in the chest, but it fell at a height where Aronson's got to work harder to get over the top of it. And again, he's got a bit like the volley in the first half. He's not gone to meet it. He's allowed the ball to come to him, and then he's stretching rather than meeting the ball by getting on top of it.
He scored that dramatic last gasp equaliser against Portsmouth in the thrilling draw here on the opening weekend, and then spurned another chance after that to win the game. It's one of 2 goals that he scored this season. He also scored in the win of Sheffield Wednesday, live on TalkSport 2 against Sheffield United tonight. It's still 0-0. The clear-cut goal-scoring chance is really at a premium. We've only seen 2 shots on target so far, both falling Leeds' way in the first half. We played 6 minutes of the second. Still goalless. A result that would suit the Blades better than Leeds United. Banogic back for Harry Suter. Suter to his left for Norrington Davis, now towards the left wing back Burrows, who swiftly plays it back in for Norrington Davis again. Peru knew that was going to go back for Cooper, chased after it, and Cooper hurriedly smacks it straight out of play for a throw to Leeds over on the far touchline.
But again, it's no big deal for Sheffield United. It's cleared away, and it just stops them. They constantly want to stop the momentum of Leeds.
That was a really good pass from Vinny Sosa, finding Burrows. Now it goes out towards the Sheffield United left-hand side for Kiefer Moore. Moore playing it forward. O'Hare is in there battling Sosa and Arblaster too. And the ball climbs up and clips the chin of Jayden Bogle. Leeds are going to be able to bring it away with Nyonto, who lost possession, then went to ground almost as an afterthought. Certainly that's how the referee saw it. No thought of giving a free kick Leeds way for that. And the Blades have got it back inside their own half again with Akmanogic. And he'll take a touch and work it to Norrington Davis on the left of the three centre halves. Back from him to Ollie Arblaster. Arblaster just trying to clip one forward for Shackleton's run. Retreating Firpo heads it away. And Rothwell turns a header 20 yards behind him back for Ilan Meslier. 0-0.
Yeah, two best players have been in that midfield area. Rothwell for Leeds and Vinny Sosa for Sheffield United. Vinny Sosa been more breaking things up, whereas Rothwell has been excellent in starting the attacks for Leeds.
Ball played into the feet of Peru. It looks as though he might just have been a fraction offside. He's come back, gets into a shooting position, and still the ball is rising. It ended up about 30 rows back. Out of play for a goal kick, which Cooper will take.
And picked the ball up lovely into his feet. Lovely little swivel away from Vinny Sosa, and then almost brought it to a walk before then just that little sharp check to the left, and he's trying to bend it into the top corner. If you get it slightly wrong with that technique to try and bend it, you hit it straight and it just goes horribly up into the crowd.
And that was the case in point. Roden going back to his goalkeeper, Meslier, changing his mind what he was going to do with it, but he had time to do that. Got it away from O'Hare with a long left-footed ball forward. Sheffield United then win a free kick given against Rothwell in the midfield. Just a little coming together between him and Shackleton, and Sosa takes it quickly. Works it inside the centre circle to find Arblaster. Back now for Akmanogic. O'Hare bringing it in off the right flank. Daniel Farke had a really good view of that, thought it had gone out of play. Referee and his assistant say play on, no throw, but Leeds have got it anyway. Back with Meslier. Meslier forward towards Strauch. Controls it, plays it forward. There were any nerves for Ilan Meslier tonight after the much publicised error at Sunderland a fortnight ago. Blades haven't really been in a position to exploit it. They haven't tested him as yet, and I don't think he's had a save to make. Certainly not one of consequence. As Roden brings the ball forward for Leeds over on the far touchline. And still he goes, and he's 20 yards, 30 yards, 35 yards inside Sheffield United territory. The Blades almost won it back. And Leeds maintain it and end up getting a throw over on the far touchline to allow Roden the opportunity to get back in position. Bogle will go across to take it, and it's still 0-0, 10 minutes gone in the second half here on TalkSport 2.
Yeah, it's just one big battle, isn't it, in the middle of the pitch. Everything is so condensed. Both sets of players all within 40 yards of each other. Leeds have got to try and stretch the pitch to try and open up the space in the middle to get those technical players on the ball. At the moment they're allowing Sheffield United to just suffocate them in the middle.
That's a great ball from Harmer, who volleyed a little sidewinder out towards the Sheffield United right for Shackleton. Shackleton taking it on. He stopped to try and confuse Ramazani. Akmanogic then had the ball at his feet. Ramazani stretched to try and flick it away from him. He did catch his opponent, which is acknowledged. He bends over him now to apologise, raises the hand to the referee as well. Leeds fans weren't sure it was a free kick even. Ramazani certainly betrayed the fact that he was, but the apology accepted in good grace. No yellow card, and it's a free kick which will be taken by the Blades. The game has been played in a very good spirit. It's been the odd challenge, but it's been two sides full of respect for each other, particularly in the tragic circumstances in which we find ourselves. As the ball is played forward and it's off Ramazani and goes out for a throw that will be taken on the Blades right. 0-0.
Yeah, and you can sense that it's lacking something. It's almost as if even both teams are waiting for something to happen. and if not, they're not too worried.
Harmer on the edge of the Leeds box. Couldn't get the ball past Strout. Shackleton is in there to win it back. What he would give to win here on his return to Leeds today. O'Hare for Harmer. Back towards Callum O'Hare. Half cleared on the edge of the penalty area, and Gnonto lets it roll across his body. Justified in doing that. So then a great turn to deceive Norrington Davis. Stands in his way and blocks him. And it's a free kick to Leeds, taken from the wrong place, but play allowed to go on. Out towards Ramazani. Great control from the Belgian. Slipped inside the area for Aronson. And Sosa doesn't let him pass, out for a corner.
There he is again. Roaring at the crowd behind the goal. That Leeds support is Vinny Sosa. He has cleaned up time and time again when he's needed to in the middle of the pitch. If any of the centre-backs step out, he's there. A lovely bit of defending against Aronson.
This is the first corner of the second half, and Rothwell will come across to take it. Leeds had 4 in the first period without reply. Junior Firpo stands in the near post area. Roden by the penalty spot, making a run in towards the near post area as well. Now it's cleared then, but Moore heads it away. Comes towards the edge of the centre circle. Bogle mopping up for Leeds, getting them back on the front foot. Rothwell finds Strout. Strout in a central area. Didn't fancy the ball out of the right. A few Leeds fans frustrated at the loss of momentum, and then more so as Bogle then goes all the way back for Meslier. And that's allowed Sheffield United, from defending their own set piece inside their own penalty area, now to push the defensive line to within 15 yards of halfway.
And that's when you sense a mini win, is when you hear those groans, those frustrations from the Leeds support.
Trying to be a little bit more proactive now. They'll bring it forward over on the right flank. Leeds United working into the field on the edge of the penalty area. Gnonto goes out to the right-hand side of the box. Ramazani trying to find a way through. Shot on the turn from Bogle. Firpo couldn't get hold of a left-footed volley. Ramazani tries to turn again. Firpo will take it on, give it a shove. Goes down. No penalty. Ramazani trying to trick his way through, and the whistle goes to the referee's mouth. And it's a free kick to Sheffield United inside their own penalty area. We welcome listeners from TalkSport. And still 0-0. Leeds United with the momentum, beginning to ask the pertinent questions in and around the edge of the Sheffield United box, but still, Dean Ashton, no real sign of a breakthrough.
Not really. Well played though, Lewis Smith, the referee. As Junior Firpo's tried to win his team a penalty, you can't step across yourself to make the contact. That's not how the foul works, and that's what Junior Firpo was trying to do. Ramazani then mopped up the rest, but of course Vinny Souza was there again. He's got himself a yellow card for waving an imaginary card, wanting Firpo to be yellow carded. So Vinny Souza's now in a yellow card, but he's been outstanding.
And that yellow card means that he will be suspended for Sheffield United's next game, which is away to Middlesbrough. And we've reached the hour mark. It's the cue for wholesale Sheffield United changes. Gilchrist is going to be coming on. Campbell and also the impressive young midfielder Sidney Peck will also be coming on for Sheffield United as well. Harmer, one of those players that is making way. Callum O'Hare is also coming off. And the final half hour of this game continues live over on TalkSport 2. Got the TalkSport app, it's easy just to swipe left, swipe right between TalkSport and TalkSport 2. Well, with 61 on the clock, it's still Leeds 0, Sheffield United 0.
But you wouldn't automatically say that is a super positive change from Wilder. I think he just maybe wants a bit more support to Kiefer Moore, and Campbell is more likely to get up and alongside Kiefer Moore rather than O'Hare, that's looking to come short and combine.
So Peck, Gilchrist and Campbell for Harmer, Shackleton and O'Hare. And there's been a clash here involving Kiefer Moore, and a free kick's gone against him. A free kick which will be taken on the Leeds United left, Junior Firpo, the man that was fouled. So Gilchrist has replaced Shackleton in a straight swap at right wing back. Peck, a central midfielder that I saw really excel in the League Cup tie against Wrexham. He was fantastic that night. It's only the 10th senior appearance of his career today, but all but one of those have come this season. He'll take Harmer's role, and then Campbell on for O'Hare. Tyrese Campbell signed after his release from Stoke, a player that has almost exclusively operated as a substitute so far. But Peck and Campbell in support of Kiefer Moore up front. That's how they're playing it. Campbell will be the one that will be given the more license to stay forward, and Peck will just drop in. So triple change made by Chris Wilder with just over an hour gone. Now an offside against Joel Peru, and a free kick to Sheffield United. The TalkSport supports the EFL's Together Against Racism campaign, encouraging players, managers and fans both in the stands and at home to use their voice to drive change. For more, head to EFL.com. It's anti-racism the weekend across football this weekend. Ball worked forward by Abduljic and cleared by Firpo. Straight out of play for a throw that will be taken on the Sheffield United right by Alfie Gilchrist, the youngster on loan from Chelsea. He just dries the ball on his shirt. He's told by the referee not to advance any further before taking the throw. And the shaven-headed youngster's got a good throw on him, and he's managed to get it straight forward, 30 yards down the touchline into the feet of Kiefer Moore. Then it's cleared back for Gilchrist, and he'll just fight it over the top again. Moore will chase after that. Roden with a poor touch. An opportunity to get it in towards Kiefer Moore. Edge of the area to his left. An opportunity for the shot, which was well blocked. Burrows coming onto it. And that Sheffield United on the counter-attack is what they're playing for. They haven't had too many opportunities like that. Couldn't make the most of that one.
Yeah, Bogle just didn't see Burrows the other side of him. But Kiefer Moore, man, you're a centre forward, take that out of your feet and shoot. It was there, Burrows just lent it to him, get it off your right foot onto the left and strike. Instead he then lent it back to Burrows, defence could come across. You've got to be quicker, you've got to think quicker there in those moments.
Here's Alfie Gilchrist now for Sheffield United. Will they be able to build up a little bit more momentum? Ball back to Peck, and now to Vinny Sosa. Play forward again towards Peck. Just lends it round the corner. Moore's got it again. Can't get it out from between his feet, but he can feed Gilchrist. Gilchrist right inside of the area, pulling it back. Up Blaster with the cross. Heads go up for it. It's nodded away. Chested down and then volleyed towards goal by Norrington Davis. No goal scoring return for him. That one's blocked and ricochets 30 yards back inside his own half. Now comes Cooper. Mops it up. Play forward again. Down the Sheffield United right. Gilchrist to Peck. Clipping it forward. Campbell's made a good run. He's going to get there ahead of Stroud. Sheffield United trying to be a little bit more adventurous now they've made the triple change. Gilchrist with a chance to whip across in. Diving header gets it away. Blaster! Wide. Deflection all important, but that's much better from Sheffield United. They've won their first corner of the night.
Yeah, and two decent deliveries in, causing a few issues for Leeds. Cleared to Blaster, takes it on the chest. Brilliant technique to keep the volley down. A diving Leeds, white shirt in front of him. Deflects it away.
Ball just coming off a knee of Joe Roden. Able to spin it significantly wide of the diving Melier. Sheffield United have made the 6-yard box a real crowd scene. There are 14 in there, maybe 15. Kiefer Moore, Harry Suter, Vinny Sosa, all way over 6 foot. The referee just pulls Gnonto and Suter away. If Leeds have detailed Gnonto against Suter here, then I'm sensing Sheffield United might fancy their chances, because Gnonto doesn't come up to the shoulders of Suter, and that's no exaggeration. A bit like me marking Newdy. Just with a little bit more mobility, obviously. Here comes the corner, Sheffield United's first. Left-footed, swung in really deep. Good fist away by Melier, but the referee saw an infringement anyway. And it's a free kick to Leeds inside their own penalty area. 66 gone 0-0.
Always going to be difficult not to give a free kick away in those situations, because it's so crowded. And the referee will be looking at the goalkeeper, and if you impede whatsoever, he's going to give the foul. Melier did actually well in the end to get something on it.
Well, Leeds are going to make a double change in answer to Sheffield United's triple. And Dan James is just being spoken to. Daniel Farke's got his right hand on the shoulder of the Welsh international, just giving him his final instructions. And Manal Solomon is going to be the other player coming on, the Israeli international winger, who also has been struggling with a hamstring problem in recent weeks. So the international loan from Tottenham will be coming on in a moment, and so too will James. 0-0. Just shy of the midway stage of the second half here on TalkSport 2. Jim Bradford and Dean Ashton talking you through the action of an intriguing Yorkshire derby. If it stays this way, it's Sheffield United that will be top of the league tonight. West Brom will have something to say about that. They're in action tomorrow at Oxford. 12:30 kick-off right here on TalkSport 2. Here's Willie Gnonto for Leeds, left-hand side of the box, dancing his way through. And when he eventually fires across in, it's blocked by Gilchrist and goes out for a Leeds corner.
Yeah, did well. I'll be Gilchrist there. Didn't commit because Gnonto's waiting for you just to take a step and he'd be past you because he can change direction so quickly.
So Aronson is coming off and Gnonto is the other player to be replaced. James and Solomon coming on to replace them. So it'll be interesting to see who plays at 10 now. And that's the question that Ramazani is asking as Solomon comes on. And James will come on and have a word with him as well. And maybe Ramazani playing at 10 with James and Solomon wide. Corner then to Leeds. Big ovation for Gnonto and Aronson as they leave the field. In comes the corner in towards the near post. And it's into the top left-hand corner from Pascal Stroud. Ellen Road erupts. Set piece in towards the near post. Stroud didn't meet it particularly cleanly. He didn't have to. Waved the leg and it's come off his shin. Balloons up into the top left-hand corner. Far too much pace for Cooper. It's the first goal that Sheffield United have conceded in the league in 676 minutes. And it is one of immense importance.
Well, it's got absolutely nothing to do with the substitutions that have just been made. But I tell you what, Rothwell and Strauch, they certainly were listening when it's pouring and you're doing set plays, because this is right off the training pitch. Rothwell goes to curl one in flat towards the 6-yard line. Leeds players move Sheffield United players out the way to leave the space for Strauch, who, you're absolutely right, shins it straight into the roof of the net. But it doesn't matter, you're 6 yards out. It's about getting contact towards the goal, on the target, and watching it hit the back of the net.
Second goal of the season for Leeds United's Dutchman. And it's a big one. A result that will take them above Sheffield United in the table if it stays this way. 20 minutes to go. Leeds 1, Sheffield United 0. Stroud with the ball over the top that Solomon will chase, but out comes Cooper and he's able to claim it. And that record was always going to go at some stage, bound to concede sooner or later. And as I mentioned, the first that they've conceded, 676 minutes, 11 and a quarter hours of league football, 10 and 3/4 hours in all competitions since they last conceded. How will the game plan change here? They had actually, following their triple change on the hour mark, been a little bit more proactive, Sheffield United, but now they have to take the game to Leeds. 20 minutes to go. Ollie Arblaster in the midfield. Good turn from him. Played out towards the far touchline, well met by Bogle. Gets it back into Blade's territory. Cooper mops up, finding Vinny Sosa. And now to come down towards the right-hand side. Only one game so far this season that Sheffield United have conceded first in the league. That was at Norwich. They came back to get a draw in that game. But their unbeaten record this season in jeopardy here at Ellen Road with 19 minutes to go.
And to a set play as well. You know, you keep things tight with the wonderful players that they've got, and then you concede a set play when you've got, and we're looking at height, by the way, Ahmad Hodzic, Suter, De Souza, Kiefer Moore. They wouldn't expect to concede from a set play with those type of players in their side. So that'll really disappoint Chris Wilder.
Sosa works it wide. Norrington Davis plays it forward. Moore flips it with his right boot, but straight behind Burrows, and out of play for a throw that'll be taken over on the Leeds United right. Leeds got points against Portsmouth from 1-0 on the opening weekend of the season, the only time that they've dropped points in a match in which they've scored first. Ellen Road has a vibrancy about it, replaced the slight nervous edge that there was at times. The longer it was 0-0, the more it might potentially play into Sheffield United hands on the counter-attack. Here's Peck for the Blades, getting it forward, cleared though by Bogle, straight through towards Cooper. What does Sheffield United need to change to start creating opportunities to get themselves back in this? Because remember, they haven't had a shot on target yet.
Yeah, they need to tidy up. They've been so loose in possession. You know, it's 3 or 4 passes, then they lose it. You know, you can't build any pressure and momentum if you're constantly giving the ball away. And you can maybe sense why they haven't scored that many goals, because if they're as loose as they have been this evening in the build-up, it makes it difficult.
Peck play down to the right-hand touchline for Gilchrist. Gilchrist to Arblaster. Akmanogic is forward. He'll just play with his right foot back towards Peck. Peck driving a long diagonal, headed away by Bogle, and the loose ball's going to be picked up here by James. When he looks up, he only sees Peru ahead of him. I think Peru's timed his run well that time, but Suter covered it as he retreated, headed it away. The ball perilously close to hitting the left arm of Vinny Sosa, as Sheffield United's midfielder can then bring it further clear. Helped on then by Gilchrist, run back well by a combination of Rockwell and Firpo, getting it away from Campbell, who hasn't really been able to get into the game for Sheffield United so far. 16 to go. Leeds 1, Sheffield United 0. Stroud. Getting back to his goalkeeper Melier, who I'm sure at this stage will be mindful of what happened a fortnight ago when Leeds led much, much later than this and didn't hold on. Roden getting it forward, out towards the Leeds United right-hand side for James. James to Bogle. Bogle taking the ball on the turn. Well, the better of Norrington Davis, but Sosa, who else was back there to cover him behind? And now Sheffield United get it forward again. Arblaster, wide of the left-hand side. Burrows sending it in. And Moore couldn't get there in time. And Firpo trying to block off his run. There was a coming together between the pair of them and a few angry words. Now a handshake, and the ball ended up in the hands of Melier, and it's still 1-0 Leeds.
Yeah, he's better than that, Burrows. He had time to pick out a man and just lofting it up for Melier to come and collect. Melier's unbelievably tall. It was just easy for him. And again, it's just, you know, at this level, the quality has to be better.
Now Stroud playing the ball forward. It goes all the way through to Cooper. Apologies, incidentally, for any choice language that you may have heard. As Akmanogic is in possession. Played into the feet of Vinny Sosa. Now down to Sheffield United right again. Poor clearance in an attempt to get it away. Arblaster sticks his foot in, leading by example. Norrington Davis overran it and then ran into Tanaka. Collision inevitable after that poor first touch, and ball has gone out of play for what would have been a throw, but the referee has given a free kick Leeds way on halfway. 15 to go.
It was a forceful tackle, and he was just stretching slightly, but he got part of the ball, but then he followed through on Tanaka. And sort of a knee-to-knee clash. It's going to be difficult for Sheffield United. The crowd are up. The Leeds players are confident. But you've got to be better, and ultimately, if you've brought on Tyrese Campbell, get it up towards keeper Moore, get them combining, get them running in behind, because the one thing Leeds tend to do is they do tend to isolate their two centre-backs at times. You've got to try and make use of that.
Well, Sheffield United will make another change, and I would imagine this will necessitate a change in shape as well. Lawrington Davis off, and Jeshuan Raksaki is on. The player on loan from Palace who got a couple of goals against Luton in the last game. Had a prolific season at Charlton a couple of years ago, and he is on. So a right winger for a left-footed centre-half. And Sheffield United, I think, flattening off to a back four here. Here's Ramazani, winning a loose ball in the midfield, threading it in. Good chance for James. Well blocked by the retreating Burrows. And a play for another corner.
Electric pace, isn't it, Dan James? We'd all love it. He's got it. And when he uses it in that way, he's so dangerous. A brilliant darting run. And Burrows did well just to come right across from left back to make sure he was there to block.
So another Leeds corner. They scored from the last one. Rothwell across to take it again. Eyes on Strout this time is by the penalty spot. Firpo is there too. Solomon that's standing waiting for the short one. It's fired in deep. Cooper got stuck in traffic. Sheffield United gathered away behind him, but only after the whistle has gone for a foul on the goalkeeper.
Yeah, it was a teasing delivery from Rothwell towards the back post, and Strout, who was fighting between Suter and Manhodzic, just clipped the feet of Cooper as he tried to come out.
So Leeds will make another change. And Ramazani's coming off, and Mateo Joseph is going to come on to replace him. Spanish under-21 striker who got a couple of goals at Chelsea in the FA Cup last season. Just the one goal for him this season in the league, but he's such a firm favourite here. Many appearances off the bench last season. He started the vast majority this season and leads the line here in the absence of Patrick Bamford, who's on the bench. Joseph, the first cab off the rank, and Joseph coming on to replace Ramazani. So Peru will now drop in the number 10 position. James on the right, Solomon on the left, and it's Joseph that's leading the line with 11 to go, 1-0 Leeds.
Yeah, I mean, look, his performances have been excellent. Other than scoring the goals, he's missed a good few chances, but you know, want to give that energy to press from the front and allow Perot just to drop in as the 10.
Suter for our blaster. Out to Burrows. Burrows getting the ball forward up the left-hand touchline for Sheffield United. Peck doing well. Good body strength from him to protect the ball as it was fired into him. Sheffield United have still got it. They'll be making another change imminently as well. Rian Brewster poised to come on. Gilchrist back for Akmazodzic, and inside his own penalty area for Cooper, who controls it, takes a second touch and then a third, and plays it through the box towards Suter. Suter out to the left for Burrows. Now Burrows getting it forward again. Here's Peck on the left hand side of the Sheffield United midfield. Sosa and Arblaster in the centre of the midfield. Raksaki on the right, and at the moment it's Campbell up top along with Moore. There may well be Moore that's going to be coming off in a moment with Brewster getting ready to be introduced. Sheffield United 4-4-2 now for the final 10 minutes of this game here on TalkSport 2. Don't forget the award-winning game day exclusive back tomorrow on TalkSport. Spurs West Ham, 12:30 kickoff. The build-up starting at 11, followed by Fulham Villa at 3 here on TalkSport 2 from the Barclays Premier League, and Oxford West Brom in the Championship tomorrow lunchtime, with all the action as it happens from Luton Watford. That's at 12:30 here on TalkSport 2 tomorrow. So the change to be made, it's not Moore, it's Vinny Sosa who's coming off, and Brewster is on for him.
Again, must just be the international break, maybe a yellow card also, but it's bringing on another forward. That's the main thing at this point for Chris Wilder, and just hoping they can create one, maybe two opportunities and one of these forward players can take it.
11 shots to 5 in Leeds' favour. 3 shots on target we've seen tonight. They've all been from Leeds players, including, most recently, the goal from Pascal Strouk some 12 minutes ago. Junior Firpo will take a throw on the Leeds United left. Plays it into the feet of Tanaka. Tanaka did really well to just drop his shoulder and get past the tiring Moore. Bogle, now Rothwell. Rothwell bringing the ball forward in the centre of midfield. Sweeps it down to the left-hand side for Solomon. Good control from him. Lays it back for Firpo. Firpo to Tanaka. Tanaka getting it away from Kiefer Moore. Finds Strouk. Strouk goes back for Meslier. Meslier side foots it calmly, confidently through his penalty area. Now towards the right-hand side for Leeds United, where it looks as though he's a pull of his shirt on Peru. And the referee is found against Harry Suter. Free kick to Leeds.
And also, I think, obviously, the possession that Leeds can hold, the confidence they have in the 2 midfield players and the 2 centre-backs to kind of bop it around and just sap any momentum out from Sheffield United is, again, it's one of the best ways to defend. And Daniel Farke, I think, again, is that improvement in defensively being strong is about that possession once you're ahead.
As things stand at the moment, the top 3 all on 19 points. Sunderland from 9 games with a goal difference of 10. Leeds from 10 games with a goal difference of 9. And Sheffield United from 10 games with a goal difference of 8. So all very tight up around the top. And then Burnley only a point behind, and West Brom just 1 more further back. If it stays this way, West Brom could go top tomorrow in their 12:30 kickoff when they go to Oxford. Live here on TalkSport 2. Ball is out for a throw that will be taken on the Sheffield United right. Gilchrist wanted to take it quickly. Firpo's actually knocked it out of his hands to stop that happening, and he gets the yellow card for that. 5th of the season, but not his 5th in the league, so it's not one that incurs a suspension. Throw which will be taken by Gilchrist eventually for Sheffield United with 6 minutes to go. Second goal in that League 2 game for Chesterfield away at Newport, and they're set fair to win that game and go back into the top 7 in League 2 tonight. Harry Suter and the ball to his right hand side for Akmanogic. Back he goes for Suter again, rolls it forward through the midfield, straight ball into the feet of Arblaster. Arblaster on the turn, gets it down towards Gilchrist. Gilchrist pirouetting, playing the ball back for Akmanogic, and now to his left for Suter. Akmanogic under immediate pressure from Matteo Joseph, forced to check back, quickly finds his centre-half partner again. Now Akmanogic can bring it forward. Now he looks for the ball over the top. Raksaki chasing after it, and Strouk didn't mean to put it out of play for a corner. He's trying to tap it out of play for a throw, but he got the angle wrong as he retreated, and it goes out of play for a Blades corner. 5 minutes to go. We welcome listeners from TalkSport to Ellen Road. Leeds 1, Sheffield United 0. Pascal Strouk's goal on 69 minutes. The difference between the 2 teams came from a corner, swept in by Rothwell towards the near post. Strouk attacked it, hit his shin, but ballooned up into the top left-hand corner with power, and Leeds lead. Now with 85 on the clock, Sheffield United looking for an equaliser. In comes their corner. Meslier got a left hand to it and paddles it away for another corner. This one will be taken by Ryan Brewster on the Sheffield United left. Dean Ashley.
They are trying to target him. They're trying to put it right on top of him and get all the Sheffield United tall boys in and around him. Will it still be in the back of his mind, that mistake?
Yeah, you bet it will. Raksaki the closest to Meslier here. Bogle with arms on him, swung in deep towards the far post, brought down by Arblaster, who tried to fire it back across the penalty area, and it appeared to hit Tanaka, maybe on the arm, but it was from such close range. I don't think a penalty could possibly have been given. In the end, the free kick was given the other way. Tanaka then appeared to keep the ball away. The referee will have a little word with him, but it is going to be a yellow card, I think, shown to Arblaster, the Sheffield United captain, for his part in that. Crowd of just less than 37,000 here tonight, and the majority of them About 7-8 minutes away from a happy ending to the evening. Leeds leading Sheffield United by a goal to nil, and the game concludes live for you right now on TalkSport 2. Meslier will take this free kick, will be in no hurry to take it. Fires it, left-footed. Markings on the ball, very visible, spinning around as ball comes down on the head of Suter. Suter then in strongly with Joseph, who did well retreating to protect the ball and find Rothwell. Played forward by Junior Firpo. Solomon's lost out of Raksaki. Time for Peck to turn in the midfield and get it away from Peru. Back from him to Akmanogic. Now out towards Harrison Burrows. Former Peterborough man playing it back behind square. Akmanogic will be able to bring it forward again.
I think if there was one criticism for Sheffield United, it would be, what are the patterns? What are the things that you've worked on in an attacking sense that now need to work in these critical moments? Too many players sort of arms outstretched as if to say, you know, what's happening? Where's the options?
Peck in strongly, gets it away from Joseph. Leeds get their foot on the ball in the centre circle again, and Tanaka has hardly misplaced the pass tonight, finds Firpo. Wide from him to Solomon. Leeds 1, Sheffield United 0 with 2.5 minutes to go. Rothwell trying to poke the ball away from Tyrese Campbell, and ultimately able to do it. And Campbell, frustrated, thought that he was just going to be able to win it back there. Now Tanaka's got it. Tanaka with time in the midfield to survey his options. Time to pick out a pass. Gets it forward towards Peru. Peru to his left for Solomon. Trying to cut inside the penalty area, couldn't get himself into a shooting position. Tanaka can't either, he's a long way out and threads it forward instead towards Bogle. Bogle's inside the box, left-footed effort from him, deflects high up in the air. Cooper comes out and claims it, and 2 minutes for Sheffield United to find an equaliser.
It was as if Leeds didn't really want to attack. I think they just want to try and see this out. Wayne Turner's giving it back, but Suter just goes long now.
Launch long, looking for more. Roden heads that one away. And Peru claims to, or at pains to claim that he didn't catch Sidney Peck there in the midfield, but Peck has won the free kick and taken it quickly. Will be a fair bit of stoppage time to be added on as well. Maybe 5 minutes. And we've got one left of the 90 before we get there. Will Leeds concede another heartbreaking late equaliser? Good ball from Gilchrist, no, not quite. Looks as though he got the shape right between the left back and the centre half for Raksaki's run, but he couldn't quite find him. Leeds can bring him forward again. They're quickly in Blades territory. Peru getting it forward. Joseph goal side. And that is that. Big win for Leeds United. And theirs is the euphoria in the Yorkshire derby. Matteo Joseph coming up trumps, held off his man, slots it into the bottom left-hand corner, and as the game ticks into stoppage time, it's Leeds 2, Sheffield United 0.
Well, you could have predicted it. He's played incredibly well all season, but then he gets dropped, Joseph. He comes off the bench, he gets one opportunity, it's a brilliant blindsided run from him, it's a superb slide rule pass from Perot to his centre forward teammate. He takes his time, he gets into a good position, he waits for Cooper to get really close to him and then just shifts it the opposite side and nips it past the goalkeeper into the corner, takes it like someone who's confident, which he hadn't previously this season, and goes sliding away on his stomach to celebrate, and why shouldn't he?
And that will be the end of Sheffield United's unbeaten league record, the last unbeaten record in the EFL. We're in 5 minutes of added time. By the time the game kicks off again, you probably expect that we're going to run to at least 95-30. Bamford and Byron will be coming on for Leeds in a moment as well, which will extend stoppage time even further. But the Leeds fans know now, or will believe, that the destiny of the points is safe. Here's Suter. Ball from him towards our blaster. Gilchrist stretching, keeping it in. No, not quite. Touch with his right foot came after it had gone over the line and out of play for a throw. And Leeds will make their double change. First, Bamford for Joel Peru. What have you made of Peru's performance now?
I thought he was isolated and was shut down when he played at centre forward, but it just shows when he's more comfortable coming off the front. He then played a brilliant assist for Joseph, and he's got a clinical edge, whether that is assisting or scoring, and I think that's why he will always be a threat.
So a few minutes for Bamford and a few for Sam Byram as well, who's only played 47 minutes of league football all season over 7 substitute appearances, and he'll just get 3 or 4 more minutes tonight. He's replaced Junior Firpo at left back. Leeds 2, Sheffield United 0, with probably about 4 minutes of stoppage time to go. Melia playing it out towards the right, and if they can get another goal, Leeds, they will go top. They're only behind Sunderland on goals scored right now. Strapped with a long ball forward, and Suter watches it back for Cooper. Cooper bowling it out. Burrows getting it forward over on the left-hand side.
I think maybe just tonight showing been a great start to the season for Sheffield United, but against the best, are they going to have enough going forwards? It could be critical as we get into the second half of the season and you playing in really important matches that you're able to rely on those forward lines.
Suter takes the throw for Sheffield United and goes back for his goalkeeper Cooper. And the Blades need 2 dramatic late goals even to grab a point here. Leeds hungry for more. Get it back for Tanaka. Bamford Shawley's offside. He's made no attempt to go for it. Solomon's run from an onside position. Can't make anything of it. James might be able to around the edge of the penalty area, but it's diverted away from him by Peck. And then played forward by Brewster out of Campbell. And Sheffield United bring it forward. Moore trying to make a near post run. The ball filing towards the far post and goes out of play almost down by the corner flag. They just haven't had, in their rare forages forward, any real sharpness in the final third of the players.
No, that's been pretty obvious. They've actually at times worked it into good positions, but then the delivery, the combinations, they haven't been there. And again, it's something that, and it's not like the quality of player isn't there. We've seen quality from Moore and Campbell, Brewster at times, O'Hare, Harmer. So I think it's just about the combinations and the patterns, really.
Leeds United in possession again with Solomon. We've played 4.5 added minutes. Solomon on the left-hand touchline lays it back. Chipped by Tanaka down towards the corner flag. It's going to go out of play for a Sheffield United throw. And Leeds will try and condense the play and stop the Blades getting out. And there's a throw that will be taken by Gilchrist on the Sheffield United right. Arches the back, launches it forward. Moore heads it on, but the support was too far away from him. Bogle wins it back. Clip forward by him. Little push in the back of Bamford by Gilchrist. The ball beats the pair of them, goes out of play for a goal kick that will be taken by Cooper. And we're in the final seconds of the game. Leeds 2, Sheffield United 0. And the party here at Ellen Road is about to start. Bogle heads it away. Out for a throw that will be taken by the Blades. Just a few seconds remain. Referee Walsh looks at his watch again. 20 seconds left maybe. Suter chipping it forward towards the edge of the area. Moore helping it on. His header fell behind Campbell. And Byram gets it back to his goalkeeper, Melier. Getting it forward, upfield, very quickly in towards Joseph. Joseph has done well, holds it up, out towards the right-hand side of the penalty area for Dan James. James in deep, over Bamford's head. And Sheffield United get it away. but that is the end, and that's the end of their unbeaten record. As Leeds have seen them off with 2 goals in the last 20 minutes tonight. Pascal Strouk and Mateo Joseph. Leeds above the Blades in the table and only off the very top of the table on goals scored. Yorkshire Pride is theirs tonight, the better team. They've beaten Sheffield United 2-0. But of course, the postscript, the thoughts with George Baldock, with his family, and what really matters in life. Difficult circumstances to the extreme for Sheffield United to have played in this evening, but Leeds have beaten them by 2 goals to 0.